Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day and I hope everybody's looking forward to what's coming up. I think there's been quite a lot of hype going about and I have got a hint at some point in this video for what is coming up in the November arc here in STFC. But today we are going to go through one of our standard series for the month and we're going to talk about the hits and misses from October 2023. As always, I am so interested in knowing what your hits and what your misses were, things that you thought went well, things that you thought that didn't go quite so well for the month of October. So drop them down in the comments below if you will. Really quick recap of what actually happened in Lower Decks 2 Part 2, update number 59 for October. So we introduced G5 Armadas. Decent, something that we're going to talk about with decent chests and everything for them as well. We introduced a new seasonal territory capture whereby the TC map gets reset on a quarterly basis and obviously people have to refight for their zones. How did you find that in your alliances? New forbidden tech, so including the Ferengi Whip, the Breen Energy Dampener, and the couple that are available, as I said, through that new seasonal battle pass as well, including Agamus, which is available exclusively through the Syndicate advancement, which obviously is taking us now from maximum level of level 35 up to a maximum level of level 45 for Syndicate. I'm not even anywhere. I've just managed to hit 13. I was really excited, but I'm now 15 levels short of the max. Getting so close, not too far away. Obviously, new additional primes and also increases in fleet commander slots. Fleet commander slots that one of them is grindable, so one of them's grindable, so you can get one from your syndicate. So eventually, everybody would be able to get that. And obviously, the other ones come through as a prime. Obviously, syndicate expansion was another feature of the October arc. 10 extra levels added, new forbidden tech added, and obviously the standard increases as well that we would expect to see from the syndicate tree. New prime nodes, so prime ship structure, which is another hull increaser. Dominion Solo Armada loot, which is for an Ops 40 plus, and additional roles in the standard Armada refinery for G4 and G5. Very interesting, but again, new primes. New officers that we had. We had Epic Dr. Ta'ana, which was sold as a little bit of a counter, as it were, to Carol Freeman. Does she quite do that? No, no surprises. No, she doesn't really do that. Not quite yet. Her numbers are not big enough to be able to do that. And then we also had the makeup for Epic Shacks, our second epic, put my teeth in, of the month, and he is the battleship strike team replacement officer, similar to what we had with the other two. We had with Ransom and we had with Billups the month before. This is your battleship strike team counterpart. Third one, which was a rare officer, which was Admiral Freeman. Admiral Freeman is a cargo increaser when on the bridge and increasing reputation gains on the below deck. Very nice to see a below deck rep gain officer. I'm happy with that. New missions, obviously new events, some new cosmetics, and a small handful of bug fixes as well. So that's what we got in the actual arc for October of 2023, just as a bit of a recap for everybody. Now, just to refresh that we did get a mini patch update. So we did get update 59.1. And update 59.1 brought in a bug fix for the battle reports, which didn't quite work first off, but that has now been fixed. We had the increase, another new prime increase of the Discovery warp range, and we had prime critical hit reduction, and we also had the prime station attack delay prime. So 3 new primes added during patch 59.1. So that's what we got. We also got an update, which also got its own news feed, an update to Forbidden Tech, which was another improvement that we got in October of 2023. So lots to go at, big update, decent update. Let's dive in and as we do, let's start off with the negative so we can always end on a high note. And remember to stay tuned for the whole video so that you can find out what the hint is for November arc. I know people like these hints. And again, I always want to know what people's hits and misses are as we go through them. But let's move on. Let's dive back into the game and let's talk about the misses for October 2023. I'm going to start off with one that I really personally am not super happy with. I'm going to start off with the Disco Prime. I think that the Disco Prime being monetized was a massive miss from Scopely. The Discovery is a utility ship, which when it first came out, it offered you to the whole end of the reaches of space that was available at the time. Obviously, G4 came out, you can get to the very early, you can finish all of G4. G5 came out, you can get to the early echelons of that, but when you want to get any further, the maximum you can get the Warp 2 on this, even with max fleet commanders, and obviously all the boosting officers that you want to do with warp range, which obviously then makes it very inefficient to do because you're not getting the efficiency from the likes of Stamets and Culber and Synergy and things like that. You're looking at getting to the first 4 or 5 systems of G5 space. After that, it's useless. So introducing the Prime, introducing the increase in Discovery warp range, I'm really happy with. I'm just really disappointed that this is a pay-only option for the moment. Obviously, it's got 2 levels. So the first level, which is gated up to Ops 51, is a plus 50, and then you get a plus a bonus up to 350 for when you can go 51 plus, which obviously helps you get through into the higher levels of the G5 space, which again, I think it's a fantastic premise. I think it's something that's needed to help speed that up for people that do want to use discos to obviously get around the galaxy and perform things quicker and skip warp times, especially with armadas. You've got 3 minutes left on an armada timer, you're not going to make the armada. You can't use your disco like you can in G4 and G3. So I think it's a massive miss, purely because, not because of what it does, but purely because it was a spend only component. I'm really disappointed about this, and this is my first miss in the game for October 2023. I'm not going to tie this with a different brush. I'm going to keep this on the same brush because it's basically the same issue that I've got with it. There were other primes added to the game, such as the prime station delay. This prime is basically when attacking a station, you are delaying the opponent's ship and defense platform weapon fire for the number of rounds shown. This is a multi-tiered prime, again, similar to the Disco Prime, where you can get up to 2 rounds of delay for basically £200 or the equivalent currency in your area. What this is meaning, it's meaning that when you attack a station, this is giving you the keys to that station if your ship is quite big enough. This is totally mitigating the strategy element of base defense with things like the bold defense, the ocean defense. This is absolutely just taking that away and making it so if you're prepared to pay, that you can just have the keys to anybody's station. Very disappointed that this is a sale only mechanic. Very disappointed with that. I think if it was going to be something that they were going to add to increase strategy, which is the only real reason for this, it needed to be something that was available to everybody. But obviously then that would have killed those types of defenses, but at least everybody would have been on a level playing field. Again, giving massive advantage to spenders, and a really, really big issue. This is still part of the first miss, because obviously I'm disappointed with the primes and the monetization of certain aspects of the game. I'm tying that into one. But yeah, really, really disappointed with the prime station delay as part of my first miss as well. My second miss. Moving on, let's talk about territories. Let's talk about territories. Territories been introduced now a few years, and when it first came out, it was brilliant. It was new, it was interesting, it caused people to fight, it caused strategy, people just want to try and get zones. This zone became stale. Scopely, quite rightly, and kudos to them, they have identified that and decided that something needed to change. So what did they change? They decided to do the big reset. The big reset, every 3 months, we are going to get a new seasonal battle pass. So up in your new battle pass tab, which while we're talking about it, don't forget to do your battle pass event, Hostile Hunt today. You have now got a 3-month seasonal battle pass. So we're in season 1 right now, whereby you complete this Trailblazer event, which is all we have had so far. I'm hoping this is another part of the miss. It's boring. It's boring. All you need to do is go and leave a ship in the space, recall it at the end of the takeover, part of an active takeover, and that's you done. That is the whole point of the event. And if most servers are like mine, there's not a great deal of fighting going on. Teams are allowing other teams to join them if they're adjoining, and just to sit in the systems and score points. And it's not invoking PvP, which was the main point of the system. And there's just nothing else happening with it. People are just doing basically what before. Our map looks very, very unchanged, even given the reset. I know some servers have changed, but I'm very disappointed with the revamp to this. And the second part that I'm really disappointed with the in fact, there's 3 parts to this. The second part that I'm really disappointed with is the Monaveen sourcing. Obviously, the Monaveen, when that came out last month, It was proved useful. Anybody that got it was really, really pleased that they got it. It's a fantastic utility ship. It's relatively, you can see I've not spent a bean on my Monavine, and it's already up to tier 5, and it's what, about 2 months old now. So I'm really pleased with that in terms of a progression loop. It provides a decent amount of base resources. It provides a decent amount of materials, and it's a passive loop. You can just leave your Monavine in space and it can happen. So really happy with the actual Monavine ship, but it's a massive benefit to absolutely everybody in the game. So sourcing this ship needed to be something that was readily available. And what we've ended up with was they've put it as a territory service, which is okay. They've made it a territory 3, a level 3 territory service, which is really not okay. And then they've only put it in 3 out of the 6 systems, making it so, in essence, only 3 alliances per week can draw it. You can get 18 blueprints a week. So, meaning that you need to do it for what, 13 weeks, 12, 13 weeks to be able to get enough, 12 weeks, I think it is, to be able to pull it. You need to hold that T3 zone for 12. It's not good. And there's only 3 alliances per week that are going to be able to start pulling that, meaning people are starting to think about alliance swapping and alliance jumping. This should have been a tier 1 or a tier 2 service, and there should have been 10 scattered around the map at least. That would have forced people to move around if it was in the tier 1s and the tier 2s. That's where it needed to be. Really disappointed that such a fantastic ship that is of massive benefit to free to play. This is the other thing. The big teams and the big alliances tend to have the biggest spenders in. The people that have got the spenders in, they've probably already bought the Monavine, so the service is useless to them. Where this is of massive benefit is to the low spend, free to play players when they want to get the additional resources, they want to get the additional materials, they want other sources for those, and they are now gated by half of the tier 3 systems. And I just don't think it's good enough. So that's the second part of it. The third part to it is it's taken them all this time to update the territory research tree. The territory research tree extension, honestly, I think is an utter disappointment. I'm not too disappointed with the ISO emulsion efficiency. That's nice. It's okay, that's nice. But it obviously we're gated on these by these particles, which are only available through the seasonal pass. And the seasonal pass is paying them out in such short numbers. You can see I'm fully up to date. I've not missed an event. I haven't bought the $50 seasonal battle pass unlock. I haven't bought that. I don't see any value in it at all. And you can see this is what I've managed to get. Quantums are the ones that I struggle on. We haven't had them as an alliance for probably 18 months, 2 years. So that's what I'm struggling with. I've managed to get that up to level 5. I've managed to get the ISO efficiency up to level 2. So I've done 7 levels of research in a month. You can see I haven't even touched any of this, but I've looked through some of these, and honestly, there are probably 3 or 4 researches worth having. Isogen mining speed, meh, not massively necessary. The alloys, which is the hull one, which again is decent. The hull one goes up to a 400%. The shield one goes up to 400%. It's not a bad couple of researches in there. They are littered with prerequisites. Prerequisites are a massive feature of this tree where you've got to go do other things to be able to get to what you want to do. And apart from that, a lot of it is just absolutely useless. Base protected cargo on Klingon ships. There's just not a lot of worth in this for me. So I'm really disappointed that they had the opportunity to revamp this tree, and this is what they did with it. So a 3-pronged miss in terms of the territory capture revamp. It has so much potential. This is only season 1, and I am going to remain the ever optimist and hope that they do decide that come season 2 or even month 2, maybe next month, maybe they've got something up their sleeves for us, obviously to make sure that territory capture is going to be something better than just sitting in the system for a couple of takeovers a week to finish the battle pass, which is utter garbage. So let's hope, let's pray, and hope that they actually do something with territory capture, because I know a lot of people enjoy PvP. PvP has been damaged by the officers, I'm aware of that, but this should be just an absolute war zone. And what they've done to territory capture, in my opinion, the revamp is an absolute miss. So that's our second miss of the month. My third miss is the sourcing of this lovely cat lady. What they in essence did was they took 2 massively disliked methods of sourcing an officer, the low-paying version of the Heroic SMS, and the Ducat Weyoun style get tokens, buy enough, get a full unlock pack. Two very disliked models, in my opinion, for officer sourcing, and combined them into one and made it a massive miss. Obviously, the first SMS in week 1 allowed you to get up to 4,000. You needed 4,800 to be able to get a full unlock of Ta'ana. And then the free-to-play, what they were able to get was around 500 to 600 of the tokens. Lots of people, free-to-play, that committed to that first milestone will have finished a couple of hundred tokens short. That's it, a couple of hundred tokens short, because where the final tokens were that allowed me to get to tier 2 were in the syndicate event. Free to play, low spend, may not have the ability to do this. I used multi-phasic credits. I used about 7,500 multi-phasic credits on Syndicate XP to get to the 3rd milestone of the Syndicate Advancement event, which then gave me enough recruit tokens to be able to get the full 4,800, which in essence unlocked her and gave me the 4,800 tokens that I needed to actually get her to tier 2. So my sourcing was good, but I want to talk about this from the wider level for the majority of players in the game. And let's be honest, this is awful. In essence, free-to-play sourcing was about 4,500 to 4,600, and you need 4,800 of the recruit tokens to be able to get a full pull of Ta'ana. If they had sourced the other 200-300, even if it was with that crazy gold rush event where you had to go mine a gazillion latinum to be able to get the tokens, even if they put that in one more time, I would have been praising Ta'ana sourcing through the roof, because they provided a free-to-play grinders path that you could pay to skip by buying, for example, the Ferengi whip, but it made her available, and lots of people would have got her to tier 2. And because they've sold her as a solution to PvP, she isn't the solution to PvP. But because that's what they thought she was in essence going to be, and they gave away Freeman for such a relatively good price at £20 or equivalent of your currency, then they should have done the same with Ta'ana. She should have been available for the masses. She should have been available to practically everybody that actually committed to the events. So I'm super disappointed with the sourcing on Ta'ana this month. But they are my 3 hits. As I've said before, please let me know down in the comments, what are your 3 hits and your 3 misses from October? Be subjective. I will pass feedback back to Scopely. Obviously, for anything that's coming up, anything that we think that we can improve for future runs and things, I do pass feedback back. So please, please, please do that. If you are enjoying this series and all the other stuff that we do on the channel, please, please, please hit the subscribe button and hit the like on the video. If you do really enjoy the video, then please, obviously, consider joining the channel as well. You can join the channel. We have channel memberships available. So we are now going to move into the hits of the arc, and somewhere during the hits we will throw the hint in as well. So stay tuned if you want to know a hint of what's coming up for November of 2023 here in STFC. But let's move on to the hits. Let's talk about something a bit more positive. Now let's move on to something a little bit more positive. Now, my first hit is about the Armada Control Center. Armada Control Center? That's a age-old building. They haven't made any changes to that. What they have changed, and anybody that is not a G5 player or a late G4 player that's starting to think or worry about this, these things, rare tactical cores, have been the bane of lots and lots of players' existence. Lots and lots of players have been very, very unhappy with the sourcing of rare cores. They've asked for them in event stores, never happened. They asked for them in better quantities from absolutely everything, never happened. What we have now got an introduction where they have introduced G5 armadas, and I'm telling you now, I have gone from level 48. I am now over halfway through to level 49 to 50 on my Armada Control Center, which I need to do to be able to get to level to Ops 57. Ops 57 is gated by the ACC, as is Ops 51. Ops 51 requires you to have an Alliance Control Center of level 45. Ops 57 requires you to have a maxed out currently Armada Center at Ops 50, and you cannot improve your ship hangar above level 54, so you can't even get to 55, and the ship hangar is a prerequisite of Ops 57 without the Armada Control Center level 50. So that's where the prereq sits, if anybody's wondering and they can't see it. But you need to do it. And the way that they've sourced that is the fact that they have introduced the G5 Armadas, and the G5 Armadas have now given us new G5 Epic and Rare packs. The G5 Epic is giving us per chest a guarantee of 2,000 rare cores. This is massive. Honestly, this is absolutely huge. 2,000 rare cores as a guarantee, and the rare pack is giving us a chance of either 1450 or 1900 per pack. I've never not hit this. I think it's a guarantee. Obviously, we haven't got an I button for me to confirm this exactly, but I think you're guaranteed at least one of these. I don't think it's possible not to get one. I haven't seen one yet. Somebody prove me wrong. Tell me down in the comments, have you pulled a G5 Armada pack and not got rare tactical cores? So it's absolutely ginormous. Now compare this, and obviously you're getting other things in here. You're getting some of the pick officers. This is the sourcing for them. Meh. Not bothered about the pick officers, really not bothered at all. But this is also your long-term sourcing path for the Doctor. A bit of a shame for anybody G4 and below. Not having any current Doctor sourcing is a bit of a shame, other than the Voyager loop, but it's nice to be able to get a few extra shards from here for the Doctor. And obviously the Armada credits are still a little bit down, obviously, as we expected. The G3 packs are still the best way of sourcing the Epic Armada directives, but what you're going after these packs for is the rare tactical cores, and I am so pleased with what they've done with the introduction of the G5 Armadas and the way that they've structured the packs. I think they've made a massive improvement to G5. They've made that process a lot less painless. A lot less painful by comparison to what it was, just because of rare tactical cores. So a massive shout out, a massive thank you from me, especially as somebody that is trying to push up to Ops 57. It's still causing me a bit of a problem. I'm not going to say it's plain sailing. It's not super quick and easy. It's not a 1 week, 2 week thing. It's probably going to take me another month or so to be able to get the cores that I need if I keep up with my pulls. But the G5 Armadas are dropping sufficient loot to actually make that realistically possible, I think, in the next 30 to 60 days. So a massive well done on them for that. Really pleased with that as an improvement. And that's our first hit. Our second hit, it relates to concentrated latinum. Now, I don't often do hits that actually have a pay element. But I am going to do one. They introduced a new piece of forbidden tech, my favorite piece of forbidden tech. If you haven't already seen it, check out my video that I did on this piece of forbidden tech, the Ferengi Whip. I posted it a couple of weeks ago. I will link it at the end of the video if you want to catch it up after you've finished watching this and got your hint. Watch it, find out about it, because I think this is the best piece of forbidden tech that's come in, the Ferengi Whip. What this does is this gives us obviously multiple bonuses like all forbidden techs, but the Ferengi Whip's abilities are obviously increasing the concentrated latinum mining rate. Mine is now maxed for that particular skill, so it's an improvement of 36,000%. There's cargo capacity, there's general mining rate, and there's protected cargo as well. But the one we're talking about today, and why I'm so pleased with this piece of forbidden tech in its actual application, is because of what it does to reduce the grind time for you to keep up with your latinum refinery. What I'm going to show you, I have got two Devore Features. They are both level 60. They are both maxed. Tier 12, level 60. This one, as you can see, does not have the forbidden tech. This one does have the Ferengi Whip equipped, maxed out with that level 1 trait. Now, I used to mine, and I was quite happy with this. I used to mine at just shy of 1 million an hour, 997,000. That's what I was mining with my maxed feature. So it took me about an hour to drain this node. I need about 10.5 million per week. So I was passively mining on this, and it took me about 10 hours a week of leaving a feature out on these nodes. Obviously, I had two, so I could do it in about 5 hours. So I tried to do that on Latinum Monday, get enough for the week for my whole refines, help my alliance out in the events, etc., etc. What the Ferengi Whip has done to this grind, if I switch over to the other feature so you can see the speed, it's taken the speed from here, just under 1,997,000. It's changed that to 44 million an hour. Look at the time. The time to drain this node has dropped from 1 hour down to 1 minute and 21 seconds. This means that I now need, because of something I'm going to show you in a second, about 12.5 million a week. It's going to take me about 15 minutes plus warp time to be able to do this. 15 minutes a week. Yes, it's active, 15 minutes active as opposed to over 10 hours passive. You work out to yourself which one you think is more beneficial. Now, obviously, I can take that off and I could sit and do it passively if I really wanted to. I'm more than happy to spend 15 minutes mining Latinum, obviously to get my lat income and all the things that come with that. But the second part to the Ferengi Whip, which is absolutely exceptional, is what it does for your refinery. So if you go into your Forbidden Tech refinery, once you unlock the Ferengi Whip, you get access to this new refinery bundle. This refinery bundle solves a key issue with Forbidden Tech in its design. One of those is the source of proto matter. So proto matter, you can see here that that I have the opportunity to earn vast amounts of protomatter. Even the smallest amount of protomatter at 27,800 is massively valuable to me. And I'm going to show you why I think it's massively valuable to me in a second. You get each day for 130,000 concentrated latinum. So it's, again, this is why I now need to mine just over 12 million a week, which again, not a big deal. You get one pull from this chest every single day. Sometimes you will get the forbidden tech fragments. Sometimes you will get additional trial bells, meaning that you can you can do 5 a day more often of your Q's trials. And some days you hit the jackpot and you get the protomatter. So protomatter is used to both upgrade your forbidden tech, but what I'm using it for at the moment is to plow as much as I can into this refinery bundle next door to get additional emblems of assessment to be able to promote my Q's building. So I'm able to, most days now, you can see I've got almost 30,000. I can pull the 3 chest pull most days now and get 300 emblems of assessment, and that's allowed me to get my Q's court building from level 18 up to level 22 this month alone since having it. So I am so pleased with it. Now, I do know that it was a mistake. It was not supposed to be as powerful with regards to the latinum mining speed. It was not. I will give them that. They agreed to keep it. Very pleased about that. Massively player beneficial. Massively, massively player beneficial, and a big thank you. But what people are sometimes not so vocal about is how good the refinery is. The refinery, which was always part of it, which hasn't been changed, obviously, because of those that slight mess up by Scopely. The refinery is the key part to this, and it allows you to help other parts of your game. Getting to Q's Court 25 and unlocking the next tier of trials, if you're at that state in the game, is really, really important. And obviously, the Q's trial does give you some other benefits. Obviously, your protomatter, and obviously, you start to get critical. You get to get some PvP bonuses as well. So critical hit damage against PvP and critical hit damage against hostiles. So it is helping both sides, both main sides of the game, PvP and the PvE element, by being able to upgrade this building. And the Ferengi Whip allows you to do this much faster. So really, really pleased. Really, really pleased with that. And that is our second hit of the arc, October 2023. Thank you so much for sticking with the video this long, and it's time for the part you've all been waiting for. It's time for the hint for the November arc. Arguably, this is the arc that I have been the most excited about since getting an NDA and since knowing what was coming ahead of time. This is the most excited I have been for an arc. But now it's time for your hint. Are you ready? Good grief. Remember Huey told us to be hip? Get ready to pick. Hard choices are coming. So gather all the generous information given. Did you get it? One more time. Good grief. Remember Huey told us to be hip? Get ready to pick. Hard choices are coming. So gather all the generous information given. Let me know down in the comments section what you think I am alluding to with that hint. And right now, back to our third hit of the arc. My third hit comes in an update that they've done against the old mechanic. This did come in with the territories, and I'm really pleased about this. They have now decided your Isogen refinery was scaled up to Ops 49, and that's how it's always been. So if you was in the 50s, your Isogen refineries did not change after you passed level 49. They have now scaled these, and I'm really, really pleased about it. And what they've done is they've now added actual increase in ISO emulsion for a reduced amount of grind. I am so pleased with this. Isogen refining and isogen mining was a big part of the game for me, obviously, to make sure that I keep up with the territory research, because there is some fantastic researches in there that I still want to get capped off, and being able to now potentially mine less and get more ISO emulsion for less raw isogen, I think is a massive improvement to the game. And I'm really pleased that they've now scaled this all the way up to Ops 60, so they get more and more. And this allows me, it's not just a case for the research, this allows me to more easily pull right the final bundle. Obviously the resin is not necessary to me, but because I don't have metrions or quantum particles in my alliance, and they're the two that I still need for some of the original research, it now allows me to most days pull a 3 chest pull of this, so I can speed up my acquisition of the particles that I need. I know this is a niche case and not everybody will be in the same boat. Some people have had all that research and all the particles that they need for days, and they'll have stupid amounts of surplus. I'm not in that position, so not everybody will be in that position. So the increase in isogen for the 50s is absolutely needed, absolutely thanked for, and obviously it's going to help me speed up my progression in the territory tree. So I'm really pleased with it. Right, guys, thank you so much. I want to thank everybody. I hope everybody thought my hits and misses were pretty much on point. If you had anything massively different to me, please drop them down in the comments section. Let me know exactly what you thought your 3 hits and what your 3 misses are for the November. Let me know what your 3 hits and your 3 misses were for the October 2023 arc here in Star Trek Fleet Command. I will stress again, I am super excited for what is coming in November. So please stay tuned. We will be giving away battle passes, and you do not want to miss this one. We will be giving away battle passes in live on Twitch on Tuesday night. Tuesday UK time, approximately 9 o'clock to 9:30 will be our start time. Like I said, that is in UK time, and we also obviously have the quiz from the officer tool where you have another chance to win 5 battle passes. Keep a note on our Discord. Link to our Discord is down below. Please join that. Come join us. Ask us any questions there you've got, and obviously leave us any feedback that you've got on any of the content that we make. We are always happy to take new feedback. Thank you so much. Check out the merch store. I've already mentioned it once. Please sub to the channel if you haven't already. Press like on the way out. Check out our merch store, itslube.com. Check out itslube.com. Check out the merch on there. Grab yourself a t-shirt, grab yourself a hoodie, help support the channel in that way. Or if you'd rather just become a member here on YouTube, please join Andy, Candy and VA, who are our current members on the YouTube channel. Thank you so much to you three. I massively appreciate your support here on the channel and the way that everybody else supports us as well as we've been going on. But have a fantastic rest of your day, everybody. And remember that everything is better with lube. Take care and have a wonderful day.